There is a tree that stands at the threshold of the year. Not at the start, not at the end, but right here, in the golden middle of it, where the days are long and the light seems to last forever. The oak, the Ogham tree of June. And I've been thinking about thresholds lately, about what it means to stand at the edge of one chapter and the beginning of another. About how life sometimes asks us to pass through a doorway before we're quite ready, before we feel certain of what's waiting on the other side. I'm at a doorway currently, hovering at the edge, feeling that uncertainty and perhaps a little fear before I take the leap through. But then I came and sat beneath an oak tree, and something in me went quiet. The oak is one of Britain's most ancient and beloved trees. A pedunculate oak, the most common species you'll find growing across our countryside, can live for over 1,000 years. The oldest in the UK, King Offa's Oak in Windsor Great Park, is believed to be somewhere between 1,300 and 1,500 years old. There is something deeply steadying about that thought. When you stand beneath an oak and tilt your face upward, past the deeply creased bark, past the twisted, reaching branches, and you see that wide, generous canopy spread above you like a great sheltering roof, you understand why people have been coming to this tree for thousands of years. Not just for its timber, not just for its acorns, but for what it feels like to be near one. The oak has roots that drive deep and wide into the earth, and it is precisely these roots, that unseen underground anchor, that allows it to grow so tall, so broad, so unshakable above ground. It holds both worlds, the dark underground and the sunlit sky, and it stands between them, entirely at peace. In the ancient Celtic tree calendar, each month was associated with a particular tree, a living symbol whose qualities were believed to mirror the energy of that time of year. June belongs to the oak, and the reason is quietly profound. The oak marks the midpoint of the year. The summer solstice falls within its reign, the longest day, the peak of the light. And in that moment of abundance and brightness, the oak carries a gentle reminder. From here, the days will begin to shorten. Not yet, not urgently, but the turning has begun. And rather than filling us with dread at the thought of darker days approaching, the oak offers something else entirely. It offers perspective. It is a slow and steady grower. It has witnessed centuries of seasons, hundreds of winters survived, hundreds of summers savoured, and it's still here. The oak says, there is light enough yet. There are memories still to be made. Be here now. No story of the oak is complete without the Druids. The Druids were the priestly intellectual class of the ancient Celtic world, not simply priests in the way we might understand the word today, but judges, philosophers, poets, astronomers, healers, and keepers of memory. It took up to 20 years to train as a Druid, and everything was held in the mind, memorised, not written, which is partly why so little direct evidence of them survives. But we do have Pliny the Elder, the Roman naturalist and writer, whose encyclopedic accounts are among our oldest surviving records of Druidic tradition. And Pliny tells us something extraordinary. The Druids performed all of their sacred rites in oak groves, not in stone temples, not in built structures, in groves of living trees. The very word Druid is widely thought to derive from the ancient Celtic word for oak, dru, meaning in essence, oak knower, one who knows the oak. Think about what it means to hold your most sacred ceremonies not within walls but beneath branches, to look up at your ceiling and see leaves, to feel the roots beneath your feet and know they mirror the canopy above. For the Druids, the oak grove was not just a place of worship, it was the very body of the sacred itself. Nature was not separate from the divine. Nature was the divine. When the Romans moved to destroy the Druids in the 1st century AD, they did not only kill the priests, they cut down the groves. They understood, perhaps better than we do, that the trees and the tradition were one and the same. Across cultures and across centuries, the oak has been associated with the mightiest of gods. Zeus in Greece, Jupiter in Rome, Thor in Norse tradition. Each of them gods of thunder and lightning, And that association is not sheer coincidence. The oak, being one of the tallest trees in the landscape and containing a remarkably high water content, is more prone to lightning strikes than almost any other tree. To ancient people witnessing a towering oak split by a bolt from the sky, the message was unmistakable. This is a tree the gods have chosen. The oak not only gives us shelter, wisdom, and a canopy to sit beneath, it gives us ink. Oak galls, those small papery spheres you sometimes find attached to twigs and branches, formed when tiny wasps lay their eggs in the oak's tissue, and they are extraordinarily rich in tannin. For centuries, iron gall ink, made by combining crushed oak galls with iron salts, was the primary writing ink of the Western world. The Magna Carta, that extraordinary document signed in 1215, when the barons of England finally forced King John to acknowledge that not even a king is above the law, was written in oak gall ink. The very foundation of parliamentary democracy, of the rule of law, of the rights we still live by today, written with the oak. There is something quietly magnificent about that. Contracts and agreements made beneath the oak, sealed and signed with its ink, as if the tree itself were witness to every pact made in its shadow. So, here we are, standing at the threshold of the year, standing perhaps at a threshold of our own. I've been finding my way back to the oak lately, quite literally, sitting beneath these great old trees and letting the noise of everything settle. And what I notice is this: the oak doesn't rush, it doesn't panic at the turning of the seasons, it simply holds its ground, deepens its roots, and trusts that the light will come again. If you're in a transitional place right now, if life feels a little unsettled, a little in between, I think the oak has something to say to you. Sit beneath it, let your back rest against that ancient bark, look up through the canopy and breathe. The roots beneath you go deeper than you can imagine, so do yours. We are always becoming, always stepping through doorways, and nature in its quiet and unhurried wisdom will always show us the way. The oak stands at the gate, and it says, "You are ready, walk through."